Check out this backyard. It's honestly beautiful, right? But the homeowner's over it. She's done fighting the weeds and she's got the forget about it money to prove it. She looked at all this dirt and said, I'm retired from the garden life. Cover it in concrete so I can spend my time relaxing, not pulling grass. So, we're coming in to give her the ultimate low maintenance dream. We're laying down a massive 60 by 16 slab and an 8 by 18 patio. Let's get to work. We are officially in the dirt phase, which is basically the sweat now so you don't cry later part of the job. We've got the dingo bobcat out here because honestly, my back isn't as young as it used to be, and this machine eats dirt for breakfast. The mission is simple but technical. We are excavating everything to make sure we have a solid slope away from the house. We're aiming for that sweet spot between 1 inch and 3 inches of fall. Why? Because we want the rain to head for the neighbor's yard, not into this lady's living room. Water is like that one relative who doesn't take a hint. If you don't give it a clear exit strategy, it's gonna hang out where it's not invited. As we're carving out the earth, we're also tearing out the old curbing and that tired, cracked concrete. It's out with the old and in with the new. To keep ourselves honest, we're setting the forms as we dig. It's like drawing the lines in a coloring book before you start painting. It shows us exactly where we need to take a little more off the top or where we're sitting just right. You see me maneuvering this dingo? It's tight quarters, but we make it look easy. It's all about the finesse. We're getting this grade so smooth, the homeowner could probably bowl on it before we even pour the mud. We're moving fast, we're staying sharp, and we're making sure every inch of this 60-foot stretch is dialed in. Vámonos, que para luego es tarde. Now we're getting to the good stuff. The dirt is out and now we gotta bring in the foundation. We're using the dingo again to haul in the road base because like I always say, work smarter, not harder. This little machine is doing the heavy lifting while I focus on the details. We're putting down exactly 4 inches of base. No guessing allowed on this job. We're pulling a string line across the forms and checking the depth every step of the way. If it's not a perfect 4 inches before we compact it, it's not going to be a perfect slab when we're done. I'm out here like a detective with a tape measure, making sure everything's level. You can't just throw gravel and hope for the best. You gotta treat the base like the most important part of the house. Once we know the depth is spot on, it's time to pack it down tight. We want this ground so solid that even an elephant could dance on it without making a dent. This homeowner is paying for quality, and that's exactly what she's getting. A foundation that's going nowhere. We're moving the material, checking the lines, and keeping the energy high. Échale ganas, que el cemento no espera. Now it's time to bring the noise. We got the compactor out, and you can't just walk across it once and call it a day. No, senor. You gotta run this machine over the base at least twice. We want this ground so tight and packed that it feels like solid rock before we even think about touching the steel. Once the ground is solid, we bring out the heavy metal. We're laying down our rebar grid, spaced out every 4 feet both ways. This is the backbone of the whole slab. It's what keeps this pad from cracking up when the weather changes. Also, right by the backyard door entrance, we're setting up a form for a 4-foot by 18-inch step. We gotta make sure the homeowner has a smooth transition from her living room straight onto her new concrete slab. No tripping hazards on my watch. We got the base packed, the rebar locked in, and the step formed up. Everything is locked, loaded, and ready for the main event. Welcome to day 2. We showed up ready to pour, but the homeowner hit us with the ultimate plot twist. She looked at this massive 60-foot slab and said, "Oh, you know what? Let's turn half of this into a basketball court for my grandkids." Que abuela tan buena. Seriously, what a lucky bunch of kids. My grandma used to give me $1 and tell me not to spend it all in one place, and these kids are getting a whole NBA arena in the backyard. But for us, that means change of plan mode. First thing we gotta do is pull up the rebar we just laid down so we can dig out the foundation for the basketball hoop. We're out here digging a deep hole for the hoop structure, and let me tell you, this thing is gonna be so solid that even Shaquille O'Neal couldn't break it down with a slam dunk. Once the hole's ready, we're pouring the heavy-duty concrete foundation just for the post, and we're setting the concrete bolt anchors perfectly straight. If these bolts are crooked, the kids are gonna be shooting at a crooked rim, and I'm not getting blamed for them missing their three-pointers. No problema. Al mal tiempo. Buena cara. Let's get back to it. The hoop footing is poured, finished, and solid. Now we gotta fix the math on the backside. Since half of this is an official backyard stadium now, we're hauling some more road base to the back section. We have to lift the whole back end up so it is dead level. Why? Because if there's a slope on a basketball court, the ball is going to bounce away from you like a bad habit, or it's just going to roll straight into the neighbor's flowers. We want that ball bouncing straight back up so these kids can practice their crossovers without chasing the ball across the county. Once we get the road base perfectly flat, we bring out the compactor one more time. You already know the rules. Pack it down until it feels like a highway. After that, we're throwing our rebar grid right back into place, locking it down and tying it up. Everything is flat, everything is solid, and the steel is ready. No more changes, no more plot twists. We are officially locked, loaded, and waiting on the mud. The heavy artillery has arrived. The mud is officially on the ground. When that mixer starts pouring, you gotta move like you owe somebody money. No time to look at your phone, man. We're laying it down fast and immediately hitting it with the 2x4 to screed it out. This is where the real muscle comes in, pulling that heavy cream across the slab to get it flat. If you don't have good shoulders for this part, you're gonna find out real quick. Right behind the screed, we're hitting it with the bull float. We push it out, angle it up, and bring it back, bringing all that beautiful cream straight to the top. This seals up the surface, knocks down the rocks, and leaves it nice and smooth so that when it's time to put the final finish on it, it behaves itself. The whole yard is turning from a dirt work zone into a clean gray paradise. The sweat is real, the mud is fresh, and the crew is moving like a machine. Dale gas, muchachos, que esto ya se está viendo de lujo. It's showtime. The finishing phase is officially on. First thing I'm doing is stripping the form off that custom step so I can get in there and hand finish the edges. Meanwhile, the Jose's are tackling the big slab. I got Jose smoothing out the basketball court section so it's flat like a pool table, and Jose number 2 is right behind him with the walking groover, cutting the joints on the patio and the main pad. Strategy note for you guys watching at home. We always start finishing the section that's sitting in the direct sun. The sun doesn't care about your schedule, it cooks the mud fast, so you gotta chase it down before it locks up on you. Now, look closely at the basketball court section. Notice we didn't use the walking groover over there. Why? Because the groover leaves a deep radius joint. If a kid is driving hard to the hoop and crosses over on a deep groove, that's a one-way ticket to a rolled ankle, and we are not about that life. So we're leaving the court completely smooth today. Tomorrow, we'll come back with the concrete saw and do fresh, clean saw cuts. It keeps the surface flat, safe, and ready for game day. The crew is dialed in, the mud is cooperating, and this job is looking clean. Eso es todo, plebes. Ya casi coronamos el proyecto. Look at that beautiful clean broom finish across the whole slab. The lines are straight, the texture is perfect, and you know the homeowners are gonna love it. The sun is absolutely blasting us today, but honestly, that's exactly what we need right now. It's baking this mud perfectly so that by tomorrow morning, it's gonna be rock solid and absolutely perfect for us to come back and saw cut those joints on the basketball court. From a green backyard to a massive multi-purpose concrete kingdom, complete with a custom step and a future NBA court for the grandkids. It is the final day, muchachos, and we are out here to put the cherry on top of this masterpiece. Today, we are setting up the hoop and cutting the joints for the basketball court. First up, the saw cuts. Now, everybody has their own way of doing this. Some guys will nail down a 2x4 and use a skill saw, but honestly, that is way too much setup and too much bending over for my taste. Other guys swear by renting a walk-behind concrete saw, but those machines are expensive, heavy, and a pain to haul around. So I do it my way, the pro way. I just freehand cut it with my regular handheld concrete saw. No tracks, no wheels, just pure focus. But let me tell you, you cannot do this if you had too much coffee or a shaky hand. You gotta hold that machine completely still, lock your arms, and walk it straight, or you're gonna end up with a line that looks like a snake. If you mess up, that crooked line is staring at you forever every time you shoot a free throw. You gotta have that steady hand, man. Let's get these lines cut perfectly straight, and then we're moving on to assembling the arena. Y ahí lo tienen, plebes. A finished masterpiece. Look at those fresh saw-cut joints on the basketball court. Perfectly straight, nice and smooth, and zero chance of anyone rolling an ankle during a crossover. Take a look at the basketball hoop we installed. It is standing tall, perfectly solid, and dead level. And check out the rest of this massive pad in the patio. Everything is clean, the lines are straight as an arrow, and the finish is top tier. We took a regular backyard and turned it into a low-maintenance concrete kingdom that the grandkids are going to enjoy for years. If you want to see more concrete magic like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow the channel. We're out here turning dirt into art every single week. Thanks for watching, guys. Nos vemos en el próximo jale. Cuídense mucho.